let's get into this, fellas. This is Spider-Man: Brand New Day, and I remember when the last Spider-Man movie came out, and we were like, "How are they gonna? They should just leave it at that. That's it." Tom
Perfect
Holland,
trilogy. Mm.
Tom Holland, he did his three movies. They ended it on one of the best highs that you could probably think of. They introduced the three Spider-Men in that movie, and Doctor Strange was in that. Benedict Cumberbatch, and there was this great whole story about how he was going to save the day, and we were like, "This is you don't want to top this." Tom Holland went on record to say, "If I'm still doing Spider-Man when I'm in my 30s, something's
Mm.
seriously wrong."
Is it?
And
Really? Come on, man. Hugh Jackman.
right, but seriously, here we are. Here we are now with Tom Holland. He's in his 30s. He's making movies like The Odyssey. He's doing the kind of the highbrow stuff, but he's also. I'm thinking to myself, how much did they pay him for this? For them to say sign on for another. He's not doing one movie. This is another three movies that he's doing.
Yeah.
He's getting good money. He's getting because
Yeah.
Sony get good money from Spider Man. That's why they won't give
Oh,
the rights fully to Disney. I mean, he got paid 3 million for Avengers Endgame estimated,
which is nothing compared
and
to the
that
rest.
was biggest cast. So this
Mm.
one he can probably get more money. I reckon a good 10, 12. No, hold on, I'm not talking about. Yeah, probably good. Maybe he might have got 18 million or 15 million for
Yeah,
this. I reckon,
and who
if
knows
not 20.
if he didn't do that deal where takes a chunk out of the profits.
Mm,
He might have done
true,
a
true,
Robert Downey
true.
Jr. Who knows? But
Hmm.
listen, look,
Mm.
here we are, 2026. We're 4 years after the events of the last movie. I think it's 4 years. I think it's set in 2028 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's set in the late 2020s. And Spider-Man, he's a loner. He's all by himself. He's living by himself. He's still kind of remembering the events of that previous movie, but he's made this decision, right, guys, where he's like, if I'm going to be Spider-Man, like, I'm gonna have to leave the past behind. I'm gonna have to leave MJ behind. I'm gonna have to leave Ned behind. I have to just concentrate on doing this.
Yeah.
And yeah, the
Because he wants
movie's
to keep
about
everyone safe.
he wants to keep everyone safe, which is the
Yeah.
whole gist of the Superman or superhero trope, right? It's like
Mm.
you keep your identity a secret so that the people that you love are safe and sound, etc., etc. Um, and yeah, the beginning of that movie is him kind of we see him going off and dealing with different villains, like the villain of the week. He deals with a hand, and you know what? They did a dirty in the trailer. I tell you the reason why they did a dirty in the trailer, because we see the hand, and we're thinking that there's going to be this like massive big fight scene
Mm.
like in the beginning, but we do get it, but it's kind of at the
Yeah.
end. But
Yeah.
he deals with a hand off screen. He's got he's dealing with the Scorpion. He's dealing with who's the one with the blonde hair again? And we
Blonde
saw it.
hair.
The villain with the blonde hair.
He was in the
Oh,
suit, was it?
Tombstone.
The
Oh, sorry, Tombstone. Yeah, that
Tombstone.
was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he deals with Tombstone, and we've seen Tombstone in the Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse and
Yeah.
stuff. And obviously, he's a
Yeah.
big kind of like villain from the comics.
And then was it Tarantula or I think it was,
Yeah, Tarantula, I think, is in there as well. So he kind of deals with all these people,
and
and
Boomerang. Yeah.
saving the day in New York. New Yorkers, they love him, but
Mm.
there's something missing in his life. There's a gap, and he can't help but keep an eye on his old friends MJ and Ned, and he's constantly looking at the phone. Ned's kind of posting videos on social media, and he follows their lives. And we see Ned and MJ starting university, and then 4 years later they're graduating. So you can see
Mm.
th- in the movie they do this thing where they show the passage of time with the start of university and then the end of university.
Mm.
So that's where we're at with Spider-Man. And yeah, I think plot wise, what else have we got on there?
I mean, plot wise, I think when we get to this film, we have to also remember that he's been through a lot.
Yeah.
Because where he was left at No Way Home, everyone forgot about him. He lost Aunt
He
May.
had to.
He
He had to
he
cast that spell.
Yeah, he had to. So he's been through a lot, and as you just described, 4 years have gone past. He's been watching his friends, his love of his life from a distance, and he's now immersed. He's thrown himself into his work, which is just Spider Man. Also, we don't actually know how he's earning his money, but anyway, put that to the side.
Oh yeah.
But he's thrown himself into his work. He's working with the police. He seems to be more underground. He's part of the community, but
The
they just
neighborhood,
obviously
yeah.
respect his anonymity. But he's just thrown himself into it. He's now become a
Mm,
man. We met him as a boy in high
Mm,
school 10 years ago. He's a man with the time jump as well. So
mm.
if you notice, he's bulkier. I noticed a
yes.
lot. His muscles are bulkier. His
Mm.
facials. I mean, he has
And
grown up,
He
and you
does
can
look older.
see the loss in his face. So he has got. He's at a point in his career where he is now really taken on that with great power comes great responsibility, and he's got it on his screen, I think. So every day he looks at it, remembers
Mm.
it. So this is a bit of a, I wouldn't say totally weathered, but this is a more experienced Spider Man, an emphasis on man.
definitely more experienced. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's like he was here when he started, and now like when you see him in this movie, he's like perfected being Spider-Man to a point where the villains that there's a montage where you see him fighting the villains and he just keeps on winning, and
Mm.
it's just like this is like too easy. I mean, there was
Mm.
you know where he's just beating them one after the other, and he just kind of like, are we gonna do this again?
Mm.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so,
And
but
that's that,
yeah,
and that's that kind of comes through in the I guess like influence there from the comics and from the cartoons, where he's got that cheekiness about him where he's dealing with the
Oh
villains.
yeah.
He's like, hey, those quips, those quirky
Mm.
little
yeah,
jokes and stuff like that, and he's like, come on guys, like I've got to get home and like all this sort of stuff. So yeah, that's great. I loved seeing all of that.
but
Um,
I
Go on.
think the thing that stands out in this one is like you were saying that in like after the last movie where he had to cast a spell for everyone to forget him, he's longing. He's like a people's person, so he's longing for like that like human interaction.
Yeah,
But
connection.
the human connection. But he's he's gone to the other extreme where like he's embracing more of the spider in him, and
Mm.
there's um are we doing any spoilers or
Yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
of course. Yeah.
do
so
it, do it.
he's embracing this the spider within him where it's making, I don't know, his mutation is getting stronger in
Mm.
terms of the spider side of him. Like there's a scene where he blacks out. I mean, his when I say blacks out, not like passes out, but his
Yeah, yeah,
eyes
yeah.
just
His
change.
eyes turn. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
and
The, o-
that
the only. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, and there was that scene with Scorpion where
Oh yeah.
he almost he in
Rage.
fighting him
Yeah.
he goes into that rage and then he almost kills the police officer in
Mm.
the
Mm.
car.
Yeah.
I was
Devout.
going
What were you gonna
to say, so
say?
my only challenge to that would be that I don't think he embraces the sort of arachnid
The
DNA
rage.
or part of him. I think because I think similar with the X-Men, when they get
Mm.
to, I don't know, puberty or something, that's
Hmm.
where, also that's not X-Men, sorry, mutants. That's where usually their powers
Trauma.
kind of come out.
Yeah.
Yes, through some sort of trauma or something. And
Mm.
I think it's more the trauma or seeing MJ with another man that
Yeah.
was the straw that broke the camel's back, in which his humanity sort of lost the battle of that tug of war between the spider and the man, and
Yeah,
that's
I
where
think
the
it's
spider took over, and
no,
he.
I think it's because he's basically losing himself because he like his humanity is being like when he saves the kid and he goes, "Are you okay, kid?" and then he
Mm,
like goes off. Like that's his personality. Like,
Mm.
but when he, after the spell and he's made the decision, like it's best for him to to distance himself. That's where he's not being himself, and so it brings upon like the trauma he's experiencing. That's a feeling of trauma that I got
mm,
from the
Yeah.
movie, where by detaching himself or distancing himself, he even distanced himself from the girl who tried to approach him in the
In the
apartment.
in the
yeah,
lift or something.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Most guys would be like, "Oh yeah, we don't
Oh
live on the
yeah.
same floor."
And
You know.
that was just she was like, "Hey, we should go out," or something.
Yeah,
Did she say
yeah,
something? We should go, and I was
yeah,
like, "No
something like, oh,
way,
we should
man!"
hang
It's
out or
like,
whatever.
yeah,
yeah,
we should hang out and everything. And he was just like, "Nope, no," and he just and then he
Yeah,
goes up to the floor above, and then
yeah.
so
He
he's
just
got
changes apartments.
he just changes apartments. So he's got all the technology. He's still got like some Tony Stark stuff, and he's got Evie, who's the kind of AI, who's like the version of
that's voiced by Naomi
Jarvis.
Watts. You know.
Yeah,
Oh, is
Yeah,
it?
Naomi Watts voiced that. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Mm.
So he's got his version of Jarvis, and they have this interaction and everything, and then we kind of get the introduction. Oh, and there's a funny little bit where we've got to mention this, and this isn't a spoiler because this is in the trailer. This is the Punisher. Frank Castle is in this, and there's a
Just got to do
yeah, there's a whole big thing. Those two, they've known each other. You can
Yeah.
see kind of over the 4 years that and there's a running gag in there where Spider-Man has
Yeah.
saved the Punisher's life,
Yeah.
and then there's that was, I thought it wasn't going to
You
work,
owe
but I
me.
thought you owe me, but I thought it was quite good the way that they are, and obviously in my head I'm thinking, how are they going to tone down Frank Castle? Because obviously,
found
as
a
we
way.
know, they found a way to tone him down, but
What
I
w-
have to
yeah,
say, there's one thing where I cracked up in the cinema.
What's that?
There's a scene between the Punisher, Spider-Man, and the Incredible Hulk. And what
Oh.
happens?
He's just going.
Yeah.
It's like, why must he shout as he's firing the bullets?
But you know what I realized? I realized that the Punisher, that's his excitement response.
Yeah.
Because he's even at the end when he's helping Spider-Man escape the hospital, he's doing this
doing
like,
that and
and he's like,
and you
But
can
do you know-
see. Go on.
I was going to say, on the Punisher, I mean, John Bernthal, I've seen him in many things, and I can't say he's always a Punisher, but I've noticed when he plays the Punisher, even without opening his mouth, there's a certain that Frank Castle becomes him. His steps become very jerky. It's like his whole body manifests into the. So it's not just about his actions and his guns. You can actually see his physical transformation, which I noticed for the first time in this film. Do you know what I mean? I think it's quite good.
They made him more kind of like humanistic, like doing the thing at the end, and like
Yeah.
he's
by
doing
him
more
crying.
the comedic part of it. But to be honest, like when he's seen crying, that's not normal. That's not like out of the norm for him, because he went on his on Punisher, the independent one that he was crying in that one as well.
But I think
like,
he does that like with no one else
Alone.
there.
Yeah.
Alone.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first time where he's actually become like friends, like with actual.
But that's why I think there's that bit where he says that Spider-Man says that we're similar, because but the difference between him and Tom is that, and Spider-Man is that Spider-Man is through choice, whereas Punisher isn't out of choice. He's lost his whole he's lost his whole family, and all he can do is he just can't help that. He's got this problem where if he sees evil, he just has to terminate.
Exactly. His first reaction is kill.
Extreme prejudice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's who he is. And I think I like the fact that that's what he was always looking to do. And Spider-Man had to always try and dampen him down, even towards the end, which I won't say what happened, but he was willing to kill to stop the threat.
Yeah.
But Sadie Sink.
Let's speak about.
Come
so
on.
this isn't in
Jean
the
Grey.
trailer. Let's speak about this. So they have introduced mutants now into. Is this the first time they've introduced mutants properly, or someone from the X-Men?
Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. She said she was a mutant. That's the only other time.
But this is the first time that we're actually seeing. No, Wolverine. Sorry, he was an X-Man, so we've seen Wolverine. So that kind of the other X-Men type
The
of
Marvels.
thing. So this is
the Marvels when she went into that little portal and Beast was there. Do you remember the post-credit scene?
Damn.
That was another multiverse though. So I don't know if that
another multiverse
counts.
thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But so Jean Grey, she's in this. Sadie Sink, just like Deval mentioned. And at first we're thinking, oh my God, she's the villain of the piece. So we're all thinking, oh my God, she's in the way that she's inhabiting people, the way that she's possessing people. So, there's all that stuff going on over there. And Spider-Man has to get to find out who this person is, how she's doing it, and, what she actually wants. And there's the head of the Department of Damage Control, DODC.
Yeah.
He's also looking for her as well, and there's this kind of connection going on as well. So
because
is she a villain? Well, you find out that she's not.
Yeah, because like the what is it? She's after her sister. I mean, and I was surprised because I was like, wait, Sarah? I was not aware of a Sarah
I didn't know.
Sarah Gray, and she was and you see in the movie that she's the one who taught her how to do, like, they both had the same powers,
Yeah.
but Sarah was supposed to be the stronger one, and that's why she gets picked up because the
I thought
the
Jean was
DOD,
the stronger one.
she becomes the stronger one
Oh,
after
okay, yeah.
after the trauma. And but the what is it? The DOD turn out to be the villains because
Yeah.
they are the ones who weren't they the ones who
They
is
captured
it
her sister.
yeah, but prior to this, what was that show with what, they were mentioned in was it Mr. Captain Marvel? Oh, what was the guy who played the black guy who was the actor in the mini series that we watched,
Power
where
Man?
he's an actor, Power Man.
Okay.
I think they were mentioned in that as well, where they're basically capturing superheroes
Yes.
or people with powers to basically
Test them and all that.
test them. Yeah. So in the comics, it's like a connection to the comics as well, where the DOD will eventually basically be the producers of the Sentinels that was in the older X-Men, where they were able to replicate the mutant powers. Was it?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Trask and all those sorts of people.
Yeah.
There's a bit in there where she's looking for this thing called VMAX. Everyone keeps talking about VMAX, and you know what? For the life of me, I thought, oh, it's gonna be another mutant held up somewhere or something.
People thought
I
it was going to be Venom.
Vision.
Oh, Vision.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I thought it might have been Vision, but yeah, Venom seems like as if it could have been something. But yeah, they were like hiding this little thing, and then in the end, it's not what we think it is, and Jean Grey realizes that it's not what she thinks. But then that produces her power start to kind of
elevates her
even more.
power. Yeah.
And
And she
that's the
mad.
next step. Because remember, she's an Omega level mutant.
Yes.
There's only not all mutants are Omega level, and once
No.
you're Omega level, you are next level kind of thing.
It's next level.
That's something. And also with the Hulk, let me just spoil it.
She broke me.
She basically Hulk has been able to contain the Hulk.
Subdued.
So Banner has been able to contain the Hulk. We've seen the Hulk talking and speaking,
inhibitor,
eating dinner in Hulk form. He's got the inhibitor as well. Or something Jean Grey now snaps him back to the pretty much the Avengers, Avengers Hulk, where he is even before that, I would say, because now he's even bigger and he's less controllable. So now we're going to get Hulk has now devolved, and we're going to get maybe some people are saying this could be the first step of possibly World War Hulk, where he's just a next level Hulk that cannot be contained. So this might have started a whole other sort of pathway for him.
But the shock for me was also the additional shock for me was discovering that Spider-Man was the inventor of the inhibitor for mutant powers. I was like, oh my gosh. Like how does
he make all this stuff in his bedroom?
I know.
He's getting the tech, the equipment.
Yeah,
sometimes anyway, it's a film, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. But listen, look, for me, you're right about what you said, Deval. You said this is more of a grown up, and he's more grown up, and for me, this is a grown up Spider-Man.
Yeah,
we didn't have the the excitement and the wow of the previous one. We were like, wow. I remember when the three Spider-Men, when we saw those three, people were clapping, and I really enjoyed this movie, but they've moved away from that, I think, where it's kind of a bit more grown up, and it's kind of a bit of a character piece. The bits where Spider-Man wants to be their friend again, and he goes back to their apartment, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Spider-Man," and he's still got his mask on and everything. That was great, like seeing
in the Russian bath.
The Russian bath scene with
Black Widow being there, or Belova, whatever her name is now, but. I just think that I don't think we needed that.
We didn't need
I
that.
do like her as a character.
Yeah.
I just don't know if she was needed. It was too much.
I think she was needed in the sense. Yeah, I think she was needed in the sense that he needed information, and she was. I couldn't think of someone else that he could have gone to because
He's
I mean, he's
making
good with.
inhibitors in his bedroom. He can find out some stuff.
He
I
can
mean,
find out himself.
do you
No,
know what I mean?
seriously. I think what they wanted to do was they probably just wanted to have that connection with the new Avengers, with what
Yeah,
we got coming
yeah,
on with
yeah,
Doomsday.
yeah,
Yeah.
There's some sort of connection going on.
yeah.
But look, I thought it was. I thought in my head, I was probably expecting like what we saw in the previous one, but it's not that.
Mm,
But you know what? I was still pleasantly surprised. There were
Mm.
some really, really good bits in there, and like you said, Deval, it's kind of like a grown-up Spider-Man.
mm,
Um, you do get some, action scenes there. Like I said before, there's that Hulk scene in there where he goes ballistic. They got to fight the Hulk.
yeah,
Jean Grey introducing the mutants in there as well.
yeah.
The only thing that for me was a bit of a like, oh, really? Is at the end of the movie, how did Ned remember?
Muscle memory.
Muscle
So
memory. Yeah.
yeah, I think something in it because he didn't remember
So
straight
that
away.
means
As they were
the
doing the
spell
shake,
Oh
was
no,
some
because yeah, it was the muscle memory, but also remember, he got mentioned Peter by
yeah,
Zendaya
yeah.
mentioned Peter
So that
earlier
will
on,
kind
and he
of
was like, "What? Like
yeah,
you know his name?"
yeah.
yeah.
And
So that
then the flowers at the party, he
mm,
remembers the guy because in the cafe he was like, "Oh, you're the flowers guy who was at the party,
Mm,
right?"
yeah,
And then
I
yeah,
just
so
thought it was like if that spell is supposed to be like soup, like
really strong.
and
Yeah,
what I thought was they were going to get Jean Grey
to unlock the
to
memory.
unlock their memories.
Yeah,
I thought that's.
I
I
think that will
thought,
happen next. That will happen at
yeah,
some stage because that she's the only person that can do it. I think once because
yeah,
now her powers have now gone up, and
yeah.
then
yeah,
this is a bit of a film where everyone's leveling up. Hulk has leveled up.
Oh,
Jean Grey's leveled up. Spider Man is
and
so he was robust before, but now
now,
his senses are more in tuned. He's
mm,
stronger. He's uh, now got
uh,
biological webbing, organic
organic
like
webbing.
webbing.
So
Toby Maguire.
he is leveled up, ready for Doomsday or Secret Wars.
Mm,
So that's what I said. Emphasis on the man. He's now a man,
yeah,
and even
Yeah.
yeah,
Zendaya looked older. Ned, I mean, they're all growing up. They're
yeah.
getting jobs. Zendaya said something really subtle when they were in the Punisher's house, and
Yeah.
she was helping him with the inhibitor. She was like, "Oh, before I majored in what's it
Aero
Aerodynamics or
engineering.
something.
aerospace.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
before I majored in aerospace, I did a bit of biotech.
Biology.
She
Biotech.
said that just
Oscorp.
she's gonna go to a
Mm,
job where she's gonna be involved with stuff.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So
Mm.
yeah,
yeah.
they're putting these little
They're
seeds
setting
out
it all
there.
up,
There's
man.
no
They're
need
setting it.
no need to say that, but she said
Mm.
it.
So what do you reckon? I enjoyed the movie. Like, I did. I thought like, the fight scenes
Mm,
like at the end he does fight the hand, and there's that whole kind of the wushu
mm.
stuff, the wire fighting and everything, which I thought was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like really interesting.
Mm.
So there's some good bits in there. I enjoyed it. Um I'd say I probably loved the last movie better
Same,
because of that
same,
that kind of
same.
the energy in that
Nostalgia and
one and
everything. Yeah,
all of those
just
things.
yeah.
But yeah, for me, it was a decent Spider-Man movie, but it's not the kind of what we were probably expecting. Maybe
Mm.
It wasn't back to form. Do you reckon? You don't think it was back to form?
it's a different kind of Spider-Man for a
Yeah,
different
Mm.
yeah.
I think it's still very good. I would
Yeah,
agree. If it's not a shit film at all,
no,
I
Yeah.
think it's very good. I just don't think it's as good as the third one because the third one
yeah,
for me made a perfect trilogy. Now
yeah.
we've
Yeah.
got to take another one, but I don't think it was better. It was not worse. It's hard to really. I've seen it twice now,
Have
Yeah.
and
you? I'm gonna
it's
watch it again.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
Yeah.
very. It's
I
a good
wanna watch it
film.
again as well.
It's a grown up film. He's a
yeah,
Yeah.
man. He's a man. So
But I think that's probably the distinguishing difference from what you're
mm,
saying about the last one is that it would have been a perfect trilogy, but
mm,
then after that, you can't have made it a quadrilogy with
yeah,
a fourth one.
yeah.
You had to
There'll be
change it
another.
up, and and you had to change
oh
it up. You
yeah.
had to age,
He signed up for
Mm,
you aged him up
there'll be
without having to
another.
age him up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, 100%,
So
100%.
nah,
Now,
definitely good film.
finally, before we kind of
Mm,
like wrap up, I just want to quickly say this. At the end, obviously, as is usual with Marvel movies,
Bonus.
mm.
there is a end credit scene, and I was like, okay, I'm staying, I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting, and we got this shitty little thing, this little teaser.
Spidey tracker.
It's yeah, exactly, Spidey tracker thing. So which is kind of showing to us that he's gone off world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Secret Wars. That's Battle World.
That is.
People are saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he might not be in Doomsday, you know. People are saying he
But,
might not be in Doomsday.
Yeah, but there's also, I mean, there's also that it could be two. So it could be because there was a little glitch in that last that a bonus scene, because it was like you see him in Earth and then it like tries to pan out, it pans out and then it glitches and then points to space. So what they're saying is that glitch could be a multi-unit, like another universe. So that's why it's picked him up. But then also going back to what you mentioned about how did was it Thingy remember that it was Spider-Man, Ned, is that there's another rumor that basically he might have magical powers because he did that portal thingy.
Okay.
Yeah, the Doctor Strange. So. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. But obviously, yeah. So I guess for Marvel right now, MCU, it's got less is more. Obviously it's a very small little teaser, so they want to open it up, and they're setting the scene for December. So we've still got some time, away left. That's just 2 movies in 1 year, guys. Spider-Man and Doomsday, and then obviously next year and TV shows and whatever we're going to get. But I think for now, less is more for Marvel.
Definitely.
So there you have it. Sorry, Emmanuel, what did you? I mean, where does it rank with you?
I mean, I give it a 3.5, 4. Yeah, out of 5. Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if he said 10. Like, I was like, this guy didn't like it.
No, I enjoyed it. Like, yeah, Punisher was hilarious, but it was just, it was funny. Yeah.
No, it's decent. It is, and I'd be happy to watch it again because there's going to be things in there which I'll just notice the second time around.